Hey guys, Marsinger here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so in about a week's time, we are going to be getting to that time of the year in Dokkan known as the Goku Day. I mean, they've kind of advertised it in different ways across the years because it's actually the 3 days from the 8th of May to the 10th of May, which are essentially Gohan, Goku and Goten Day. And obviously it's to do with the numbers for like Japan, right? So we all know 5-9 already, right, is Goku, and therefore the date 5-9 is Goku Day. 8 we know is for Gohan. A lot of Gohan units have 58 in their passive, right? So 5-8 is Gohan Day, and then 5-10 of course is Goten Day, right? So across the years they've done different things for Goku Day, Gohan Day or Goten Day. Funnily enough, sometimes they actually haven't done anything at all in terms of new units, right? Like they might reference it in the game, and normally we get like a daily login bonus. We normally do get quite a few free stones, which is quite nice. Obviously they don't give you, when it starts with Gohan Day, they obviously don't give us 58 stones, but the way that they usually do it is we'll get like 13 stones, right? Because they advertise it as like 5+8. Right, and so then for Goku Day we get 14, and then for Goten Day we get 15. So we do get basically 50 stones, which is a free multi, which is pretty nice for like the 3 random days, especially considering it's not really its own proper celebration. So we get a few extra stones. Sometimes we might end up getting something like a wallpaper or something like that as well. But we have gotten units over the years, including like Easy A's and stuff like that, right? So we're going to take a look at the things that we've gotten over the last couple of years for Goku, Gohan and Goten Day, and then have a think about what we could potentially see this year in terms of what makes sense for not only the theme of the current celebration, although that's not always relevant, but yeah, we will be taking a look and have some speculation. So obviously do let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new, and we'll go ahead and jump straight in. So last year we were obviously having the Buu Saga themed Golden Week. I've started off at the top of the month because obviously that's where we are now, and we can see from like the time slots, right? So the 2nd of May, which is actually today, that's when we got the Tech Exchange Buu Easy A last year. And remember, yesterday we got the Blue Goku Super Easy A. So this is basically like where we are now, right? This same time slot. And then you can see on the 8th we got some things, including the Extreme Z area for the Babidi and Buu Easy A, Intensifying Fight Stage. We got the Dokkan Awakening for the free-to-play Goku, but we got the Easy A for the Tech Ultimate Gohan. So that was on the 8th, which is Gohan Day. So on the 8th last year, for Gohan Day, we got the Tech Gohan Easy A. I forget sometimes that his Easy A was that recent, the fact that he's only now going to be like a year old. Obviously, his Easy A was very, very good. So yeah, that was last year. We got a Gohan Easy A and then moved on to some extra content before we got down to, obviously we'll talk about part 2 in a later video because we expect part 2 to be on the 14th. Someone asked me in the stream today, in fact, when will we see news on the part 2 LR, and it's not going to be for at least a week because the unit's not going to be in game for almost 2 weeks, right? So then we move on to 2023, and funnily enough, I don't know if we did just get a wallpaper or something, but as you can see on the timeline, there's no new unit or Easy A on the 8th, 9th or 10th. So unless there's something missing from the wiki and I have just completely forgotten and it's slipped my mind completely, nothing special in terms of an actual unit for Goku, Gohan and Goten Day. Maybe we did get like a wallpaper or something, but the timeline on the wiki only shows new units and events and Easy A's. And as you can see, there was nothing for the 8th, 9th, 10th of May 2023. And then obviously we moved into, this is again the same time slot, right, where we get an Easy A. We got Physical Piccolo, and then we moved into the part 2 LR, which was Bulma, who of course on release Bulma was like the best unit in the game, or at least could be argued as the best unit in the game. AGL Gohan last year not so much, so hopefully this year's part 2 LR is more of a Bulma level, but I guess we'll have to see. Now 2022, this was probably like the biggest time that we got these like big things for the Goku Gohan Goten Day. We still had an Easy A on the 2nd, so again this same time slot, and then on the 9th of May, funnily enough, we did randomly get the Super Strike update for Trunks, which has got nothing to do with the the Sun family, right? But we got the Easy A's for these free-to-play Goku, Gohan, and Goten, so I think they might have even originally released. Did they originally release on this same time slot as well on a previous year? I forget. But they all got their Easy A's. They all had buffs for being run with like each other, like other members of the Goku family team setup. So these guys got their Easy A in 2022. We also got the Easy A for the Super Battle Road LR Goku. I'm not sure exactly when they do the Easy A's for these guys, because we got a new stage of Super Battle Road. I'm not sure if the wiki always only shows the Super Battle Road Easy A like cards, if that was when the last stage got added so you could actually Easy A them yourself, because technically the Easy A gets added into the game as soon as like the first set of medals are available, like it's in the game files. But obviously we as the players can't actually Easy A those LRs until you've done like all of the stages, right? So but yeah, a lot of Goku family stuff, as you can see on that day. And then we got the part 2 LR for that Golden Week, which was the Goku and Gohan as well. So that kind of almost fit into with the theme as well. So this was a very big one in terms of units. I mean, they were just free-to-play units, and they weren't exactly game-breaking or anything like that, but that was definitely proper like representation of Goku, Gohan, and Goten, which is cool. And then we have the 2021, where again, as you can see, there was no new unit. We got the, funnily enough, the Easy A time slot was for the B Pan. It's kind of crazy to think that that's how long ago that was. But for this year, for the Goku, Gohan, Goten Day, instead of getting a new unit or an Easy A, we got the GT Goku event. So obviously an event themed around fighting Goku in that sort of long style event was the celebration thing for 2021. We also do usually get this as well. Not every time, but it's just an event where you can get some meat item. Actually, I think they changed this to give, yeah, this gives the proper meat items, and you can get the random support item as well. But meat items for stamina, obviously very good. Obviously, Goku Day, the actual 9th, is when the next World Tournament is going to start. So if this event does come out as part of that little mini Goku, Gohan, Goten Day celebration, that'll be nice. Get some extra meat items for using in the World Tournament. And then we got the Super Saiyan 4s from the GT, like Easy A as well, which is pretty cool. So those are the last couple of years. I didn't go much further than that. Like if we look back to 2020, like there wasn't really anything. I'm not sure if they even, like, I don't think they started recognizing it in the game until a certain point, right? Because again, like there's nothing from 2019. We were getting some of the Brody movie stuff. So it's only really been over the last like couple of years that we've actually specifically gotten something. And as you can see from looking back at these ones, it's not always a unit or an Easy A. Sometimes it is just a new event, or like last year where seemingly there was like nothing at all, right? So let me know if you can remember what exactly happened in 2023. We do at least usually get the login bonus and the return of that meat items event, but it's not always going to be anything particularly crazy. So in terms of what we could see this year, I brought up the list of like all the Gohan units. There's a couple of Gohans that we would like to see get Easy A's, like this AGL Kid Gohan. But I know a big one that a lot of people want to see is this LR Tech Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. And this guy is on the new Goku's leader skill, because obviously he's on full power. So him getting an Easy A now would be actually somewhat relevant to the celebration, right? Because he would be able to be run on the team with the new Goku. This Gohan, I've always really liked this Gohan from the BoJack movie. The only thing about him getting an Easy A now is I feel like that then puts a bit of a dampener on like us getting a new Gohan versus BoJack celebration, because I feel like we could see that as the theme of like a small celebration sometime soon, and then that's where they would put in this Easy A. But for Gohan Day, I think we could definitely expect to see his Easy A. There's not really a lot of other like big standout Gohans. I mean, I guess like where's it's way too early for obviously somebody like Beast, but there was another Gohan that yeah, physical Ulma Gohan. I mean, him and Piccolo. Is it still too early for them? Maybe. But imagine how crazy that would be if, like, for Gohan Day, this physical Ulma Gohan got an Easy A. I think that probably is slightly too early for him. Same for, like, the future Gohan here. Actually, you know, the Int one has his... That's the World Tournament. The Int World Tournament one is potentially getting an Easy A with this next World Tournament. But yeah, in terms of the other Gohans, there's not really anything particularly stand out. So realistically, if we're getting a Gohan EZA for Gohan Day, I would expect to see Tech Super Saiyan 2 or the AGL Kid Gohan. Then when it comes to a Goku, I mean, obviously there are lots and lots of Goku units in the game that we could potentially see. I think it's a bit too new for the Universe Tree Goku, although he could definitely need it, considering he was not really great on release. I mean, all the Kaioken Gokus that we have, apart from this random banner unit one from Namek, have EZAs, because they would at least fit the theme with, like, the blue Kaioken Goku. Probably too early for the STR Carnival Goku to get an EZA, but that would be crazy, with him being a support for Superclass. He was really cool when he very first came out, and then he aged like really quickly. There's this Heart Virus Goku, but he is the subunit for AGL Trunks, who still doesn't have an EZA, so it's pretty unlikely that he would just randomly get one before the AGL Trunks. There is the cooler worldwide celebration Goku, but I feel like for some of these big things, they'll save like Goku and then cooler for like another big celebration, like another worldwide or an anniversary, right? So in terms of great, the wiki's been a bit weird recently. There's been a site that we've been using for years for these kind of information videos, but I've noticed that recently it's been a bit wonky. So I know Hydros has made a new one. There is Dokkan info. Yeah, it's gonna be temperamental now, isn't it? And then in terms of the Goten, I mean, Goten barely has any representation in the game as it is. So, like, realistically, what kind of Goten, like EZA or anything, could we get? Now, we could see a repeat of them going back to something they did for the previous years. I mean, these guys got their EZAs. Maybe we could get new, like, free-to-play, like a Super Saiyan Goku, Gohan, and Goten as, like, some new free-to-play units would be kind of cool. But I think realistically, and you know what, actually, because they're here on the screen, we've got the EZAs for STR Goku, Gohan, and AGL Cell. Imagine if they EZA these guys, because it's a Goku and a Gohan. So if these guys EZA'd, like during that Goku, Gohan, Goten Day thing, that would be really good. And it's definitely not too early, considering we have the Part 1 units that these guys released as the Part 2. They already have their EZAs. So there's a couple of different options there. Like I say, let me know what you guys think down below. What would you most like to see? But it's very interesting to look back over the couple of years at the things that they have done during this time. If nothing else, we'll get the login bonus, a bunch of free extra stones, hopefully this meat item event. But in terms of a unit, will we get new free-to-plays? Will we get an EZA? All kind of remains to be seen. But if we are going to get an EZA for that celebration, we should see that probably on Twitter within the next, like, 4 or 5 days, I would say. So we'll keep an eye out for that, and I will give you guys the news, obviously, as and when we get it. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.